Hello, my name is Björn Inge Johansson. I am 41 years old this summer. I'm a Norseman, born and raised in Norway. I have my upbringing in the Norse ways of living. I have, on my quest in life, done a little bit of search for the truth that I would like to share with the audience. I have come across one thing that is common to us all, regardless whether you are Native American, African, Asian, different types of European. It is the 7 laws of Noah that I wish to discuss on this interview. And let me first just go through the 7 laws of Noah, and then I'll make some comments afterwards. I will also read some comments that I got from the Catholic bishop here in Norway, and that I got from the Protestant bishop, or the council of Protestant bishops. I do think the Catholic bishop still is only one authorized person. Anyway, the laws of Noah was written according to the Hebrew teachings. It was written by Noah when he came off the ark. In the Norse mythology, I found the same meaning of the words in the Edvice of Vergilmiir. When I look at the Norse language, I find Vergilmiir means the man who brings hope. That is what Vergilmiir means. In Hebrew, Noah means the man who gives hope. So if this is written down, it is written down by someone who has access to the same source. And the 7 laws are the only laws that I can see that have any purpose today that will knock down all the arguments for all the wars, for all the poisoning of rivers, for all the tearing down of the forests, and for all the starving who goes hungry because of the industrialized world's greed. And we are all caretakers of the garden of the Almighty. Therefore, we must view ourselves as nothing more than farmers, caretakers of His garden. And look around and drink the water in your local river and tell me that the Almighty is going to be happy when He comes back. I will now go through the advices given to us by our forefathers. Number 1, you shall practice equity, establish and promote justice. We are to be fair, just and equable in our dealings with others. We are to love our neighbors as ourselves. This law also commands us to translate the idea of our personal life into the building blocks of society to uphold the other 6 laws. A robust and healthy legal system results in a society worthy of the Almighty's blessing. You shall not commit adultery. We are to believe in God, the Supreme Being. To give life meaning, one has to recognize that there is a Supreme Being who created the universe, and this Supreme Being grants us free choice and is aware of all our deeds. What's more, He desires good, despises evil, and rewards and punishes man according to his actions. This idea of a unique God, which implies the worship of Him alone, obedience only to His will, follows from the very revelations of God and His commandments. You will find quotes in Genesis 1:1. You shall not commit blasphemy. We are to respect the Almighty and not blaspheme His name. The most natural inclination is to take credit for our success while blaming others for failure. Yet blaming people cannot undo what has been done. Rather, it is a selfish act that can only lead to anger, bitterness, and frustration. Blaming other people for faults, or blaspheming the Almighty, or cursing in His name is a similar selfish act, yet one with much greater consequence. It undermines the very foundation upon which society stands. You shall not commit sexual immorality. We are to respect the family and not commit immoral sexual acts. Man has the choice of being selfish or selfless. The selfish person is never satisfied. Rather, this preoccupation with his own desire leads him to self-destruct. What is true of man is true of mankind. The story of the creation of woman and the institution of marriage presented with such solemnity, you will find this in Genesis 2:22 and 24, constitutes a quite solid foundation for the prohibition of forbidden relationships. Adultery and unnatural vices by this law, those nations that have condoned selfish acts such as adultery, homosexuality, and incest has never lasted. Never should they either. True happiness comes when one desires to help one another. The family unit is the ultimate expression of that desire. In a wholesome family, man's desire finds fulfillment as his selfish inclination gives way to selfish love. You shall not commit murder. We are to respect human life. Man was created in the image of the Almighty. Therefore, human life possesses sanctity. Everything must be done to preserve life and prevent murder and manslaughter. One who attacks a fellow human being is, in essence, attacking the image of the Almighty. The account of the punishment of Cain, Abel's murderer, is clear evidence near being of Genesis that homicide is a punishable crime. The law which condemns him is later formulated most explicitly in the covenant established with Noah 9:5. You shall not commit theft. We are to respect others' right, not steal. God not only rules the world, he runs it according to his infinite wisdom. An attack upon man is in reality an attack upon the Creator. Man must realize that we cannot succeed by robbing or cheating others. Whatever gains have been made will ultimately be lost. The prohibition of theft exists in embryo in the distinction made by God as sovereign master of the earthly paradise between Adam and between what Adam may take and what is forbidden to him. You'll find the quotes in Genesis 2:16 to 17. You shall not eat the limb torn from a live animal. Flesh with the life of it, the blood of it, you shall not eat whilst it's still dripping off the animal. We are to respect all creatures and not eat the flesh of a living animal. We are caretakers of the Almighty's creation called the earth. As a result, our responsibility extends beyond our family and beyond society, and all out to the entire world. Removing flesh from a live animal shows that we are insensitive to God's creations. Instead, we must always remember who we are and what we must do as partners and caretakers of God's world. The commandment of not removing flesh from a live animal and eating it extends to not being cruel to animals. We find this law in full in the laws given to Noah after the flood in Genesis 9:4. These are the laws under what the world is created, and any violation of any of these 7 laws will be punished, either in this life or in the afterlife. Live well, take care of your neighbors, plant a tree, and go say hello to someone with a different skin than yourself. and ask them where their forefathers came from and what they thought them. There is no excuse for murder, there is no excuse for sexual immoralities, and there are no excuse for poisonous rivers and dead forests. Stay tuned, and I'll keep you updated. Live well.